October 14th, 2025. This morning, when I hadn't said anything during the day, but one of the guys from 18 showed up, came in and sat down in Bob Evans. I seen him. People said we seen him, somebody from the original case show up. I know. I seen him. Trust me, I seen him. Okay? Had a lot of debunking to do today where Rick Carlson, where Michelle's family is playing with him, where she confessed on September 30th, 25 at 1 o'clock in the morning that she had told his son that they had a thing that they could bash his head in, take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent, and throw him in a nursing home and steal everything. They can't. Write on Google, if an attorney tries to get you found incompetent, they are to be disbarred. Okay? And they can go to jail 5-10 years or more. It's not their place. They were threatening me that in 18 that they would either found me insane or incompetent. They're going to have everything signed over to them. And I thought they were just being mean. No, here they're running a scam where they confronted Michelle. You're the one that told his family, her new husband's family, they could do this to him and have his skull bashed in, take him out to kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent or insane, and everything signed over to them. If they had something set up in Youngstown, it's all ruined. Because you told on him, I know, I'm sorry, but I really wanted that land. Okay. He confronted her. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her. She's never met you. If I knock on that door and I ask her if she knows who you are, will she know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. Okay. Right. And he said she doesn't even know who you are, and you had her skull bashed in. You had her raped and tortured because your family was in debt to drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. I watched her friend Matt and her talk on January 13th, 23, where the Ohio drug dealers thought that agent was letting everyone, all those people get human trafficked, and it was your family doing it. Yes, I'm sorry. Was your family human trafficked people too because you were in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. Everybody's talked about it from Maslin to Summit Mall, North Canton, everywhere. She confessed. Okay. He said, I even watched September of 23 when the original cartel already admitted that they photoshopped everything on her. Did you know that? Yes, I'm sorry. And that the cartel had confronted her ex-husband that about her being sick before was a medication error. Did you know that? And it was brought up as fraud? Yes, I'm sorry. And they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years. You knew that? Yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, Rick Carlson, my new husband's son, that is telling, he told little Rob he was in debt. Okay? And he needed that farm. His debt are not my problem. And he's playing with Michelle as his own damn fault. Get the idea of what's going on? Okay? He has threatened him, told other people he's going to bash his and my skull in, he's going to kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent. Have everything signed over to them. They're going to bash my head in, have everything signed over to them. They didn't know what they were going to do with me. Probably be floating on a river. They're killers. He even told Carl that he called Spitzer's and was talking about the truck we traded back in and all this other stuff. Went out to Spitzer's. He never called out there, never talked to him. He got a picture of what Rick looks like, the general manager, and telling all the sales associate he even shows up or tries to call, he'll take care of him himself. Then he said he called the VA, and the VA was going to, he was already said that he talked to his doctor. He can have him found um, with dementia or Alzheimer's. They're going to even have his one stepdaughter that hadn't seen him in a year and a half. Veronica, the one that took about $15,000 from him and didn't pay her back. That she's some kind of nurse, and she'll tell him she verifies that he's got dementia or Alzheimer's. Carl was shaking last night. You can't do any of this. I'll make sure she loses her license forever. She hadn't even seen him in a year and a half. Good idea. Okay. Went out to the VA, made sure he had no access, and none of them. Went to the other VA. The notarized statement from his daughter Audrey that he even told her he's going to do it. He just don't know how. But he's going to kidnap his own father, bash his head in, take him out to Youngstown, get him found incompetent, and everything signed over to them. Huh? And he just don't know how he's going to do it yet. Okay. Notarized statement, gave it to the VA. Along, let them see all those cash checks of what, $50,000, $60,000. I can get more. Witness $6,000 myself in cash. They took from him and didn't get back, bullied it out of him. That if any, he's red flagged. If any of them call, they're to call the cops. Like they said, there's strict HIPAA violations. They can't discuss you at all without a signed consent. Any kind of treatment or anything wrong with you, they go to jail. It's 10 years. Get the idea? So I could put a blockade on that too. Get the idea? So I go to Walmart 62. There's people walking around saying stuff. That's the one that Michelle ran that big scam on. Nobody say anything to her. And even the cartel on September 30th, 25, that biker said that the guys running it said no one's allowed to say a word to her again in her life. They found out this whole thing is a scam from your family because you're in debt with drug dealers and it was to pay them back. Is that what's going on? Yes, I'm sorry. Okay. So today in Walmart, as we go to leave some ladies in there, don't ever threaten my kid again. And thank you for saying it in Walmart 62 because they tape an audio everywhere. I told his son not to threaten him yet. We finally found a judge to go along with everything. And we already got everything else signed over to us. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a liar. And her son thinks he can buy that land for off of Carl, where my son Danny offered to buy it. And let everything calm down, let Carl go back out and, take care of his horse, ride his tractor, enjoy his land until he dies. Like he said, I'll put cameras up and I'll call the sheriffs every time he even thinks he can step on my land. I said, I want you to know this. I had so many panic attacks. Rather be cut and dry and get rid of it. Because the day you threaten my life and my husband's life, where I already signed off on it, all they had to do is love their father. Be good to him until he dies. But the day you threaten our lives and our existence, you get nothing. Where that lady's like, Will's already got it set up, everything else is signed over to him. No, it isn't. That's a lie. 14th Amendment. No money and no assets can be seized by due process of law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. Never happened. 7th Amendment. No judge can sign anything over to you. It has to be by an impartial jury trial. So you got nothing. Get the idea? They're lying. She's like, her son thinks they can buy that land for him. You wait till Will gets done with him. You do stay away from my son and do not threaten him. Or that other crap you said, you leave him alone. Will's going to be in jail. They already got Michelle's confession. Investigators all know it and been talking everywhere. FBI informant, the police and the FBI have a court order to bug my phone, my car, and a sheriff or an FBI agent to document everything every day for the FBI case. Agent John Open, the one you made a fool out of, June 7th, 23, how you fooled him. The one you called a coward on August 5th of 25. I kind of outsmarted you. He's got you. Yeah. That Rick, Monday morning at 6, I'm taking my client to work. Tuscarora sheriffs are calling me. Keep calling. They answer. I said, hello. They said, where are you? I said, I'm at work. And they said, where's Carl? I said, asleep. And, well, we need to do a well check. I said, he's asleep. I'll be home at 8. And they said, well, a family member and I start going through. I said, they took all kinds of money, already sent copies of the checks to the Starr County Sheriff's and a letter of a notarized statement that his daughter, his own son, Rick, they said, well, that's who called, threatened to bash both their heads and bash his head and take him out to Youngstown and have him found incompetent, throw him in a nursing home, and walk off with his farm. They've been telling lies that he's a millionaire and he's only got $2,000. And I said, then they say that farm's worth millions. It's only worth a couple of $100,000. And I said, he told the neighbor that he was in debt. And that's why he needs it now. She said, is that what's going on? I went, yeah. And she said, does the other sheriff's office have it? I said, yes. Oh, let's see. He called and kept calling. I called back. I said, hello. I didn't know who it was. He said, yes. I said, well, who is this? I said, you called me? No, you called me first. Oh, I want to talk to my father, so I just hung up. And then he called back and left a stupid, long, insane message how he had talked to Spitzer's, he was doing this, he was doing that. He and Dr. Spitzer's been threatening he's going to get it. The VA after him, he's going to have the VA write him up with Alzheimer's and a dementia. No, he's not. I already talked to him. There's a red flag. Oh, no, because his brother's horse, while he was alive, is still on his farm. His daughter, Dazzy, owns it, but Carl would go down and feed and water it. Okay? Told her to get that horse off that farm 2 months ago. He was acting nuts. Okay? Well, he's starting to call the Humane Society. Go ahead. I told her to get that horse off that farm 2 months ago. Having one of the little Rob go down and feed him. And Desi the other days. Carl's not going near that farm. And he's left messages. He calls me or I'm calling the Humane Society. I'm telling him he's got dementia, Alzheimer's, I'm da-da-da. He's desperate for money because he's in it with Michelle. He makes $200,000 a year being a long distance truck driver. She's not getting the farm. And yeah, but don't you dare threaten my son, Danny. Not even a little bit. I don't care how much Michelle wanted that farm. Do we understand each other? Like they said, it's Judge Peter's group trying to steal everything from everyone. And they already know you're trying to get Agent John's case thrown out. Because why are they calling Agent John a coward? Or August 5th, as if Agent John didn't know they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. Hmm? He was telling people, and that's why she has no memory of those people and had a mental taste in her mouth. He was telling people he knew she was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care. Before the case started, he let him torture her. Is he some kind of coward? August 7th, 25. They were saying the investigators, they got it. Them calling him a coward and admitting again they drugged me and told me to say it before, and even what kind of drug they used on me. That I'd be sleepwalking with no memory. Now we're going to put also laws. No attorney can have their doctor friend pull your medical records, stealing documents. None of your doctors can talk to an attorney either without your signed consent. It's federal prison. No attorney can set up button cameras in your home. They can't stab you with hypnotic drugs and tell you to say something horrible. Have you been raped under drugs so when you come out of it, you don't know what happened to you? Or, better yet, Photoshop a shower scene in the other room and washing. And then July 24th, 25, they did a body ratio. It wasn't even me. It was my head on somebody else showering. Where they already admitted years ago they photoshopped a shower scene in 21. Then May 12th, 22 at noon, and May 26th, 22 at noon of a shower scene in the other room. Now I get tired of repeating myself of Melissa's lies, main games of pretend, and it's her divorce attorney with uh against my son John, and some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own. And Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up at when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Thanksgiving at 18. Eye-opening. Under police surveillance with a court order. Like January 12th, 22. What did Officer Johns tell those guys? What did those kids get caught? Tape stating? They made everything up. Where they said they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. Michelle. Will's daughter. Huh? Melissa's divorce attorney's daughter. Guy from Maslin helped him get away with crimes. I haven't met him yet. I've seen him, figured out who he was. December 18th, 24, Walmart 62, the guy coming in and saying stuff. How he's in it with drug dealers, doing bets over me. Then January 30th, 25, how when my ex-husband called down to his office, he told him that the police told him that I have rights and they'd never say a word. And that he had found out it was a medication error and fraud that made me sick before. And that Terry Coberly seen him almost kidnap me. And he felt bad about everything. Yeah, right. Yeah. December 1824. As if our Karen really didn't know who Michelle was until January, February 19. No, not until she announced herself. She didn't even know who she was. Still never talked to her. They said she threatened her. If she threatened her, I didn't care what they did to her, and she didn't know who she was. No, I made sure of it. I told the drug dealer at that bet that no one would ever want her after he had done to everything he had done to her. Leave her alone. I heard she's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. That's supposed to be Michelle's daddy, the guy doing this. Get the idea? You know what, Dave? Drug dealers. Walmart 62 keeps them for years. Years. Tape and audio in every aisle. Oh, and where that lady said, we finally got a judge to go along with everything. Where you're trying to get Agent John's case thrown out against the drug cartel. Yeah, they already heard about that. We already break that too, honey. For why are they calling Agent John a coward? Well, they want him found not credible either. He told on her for calling the FBI hotline before he talked to her. He he admitted on a recorded line that he already spoke to everyone. He don't have the authority to ask someone to stay quiet, and he didn't pay her, so he's defrauding her, so he had no right around her. They want all the surveillance thrown out and every drug dealer released. They know what you're up to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get the idea. And they tape an audio in every aisle, and have a cop not too far from me. Or an FBI agent. Stupids. Well, at least, and that's where, anytime they did anything, I went around and I debunked it in 18, 19. Got tired of it. Melissa didn't make up her mean games or pretend on the FBI case. That's where Melissa's so stupid she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Right after Thanksgiving 18. And why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of giving up the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. So where they said in a legally bugged house, the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Michelle, and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. Then later on to Flora, they made everything up. They were games of pretend. October 23rd, 2019. Um, Flora finally stated it. And Josh, I said, do you know how mad I was when I heard the house wasn't meant for Grandma? It was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. She's like, that's not what they said. They said this. Josh, and it was filthy. Josh's like, "Oh, that's not true. Don't say it again." She's like, of course it wasn't true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. It was games of pretend. Sit down next to me chuckling. I would have spanked them all. I didn't know till Flora said it. He wouldn't tell me. Stark County Sheriff's Mayor 21. Some guy named Kurt was paying for harassment. He found out those kids got tapes saying they were lying. Stark County Sheriff's Mayor 21 of Kirchhoff found out those kids were lying. He's slow. Massillon Police in June or July of 21 told them they're documenting in games of pretend, where Officer Marks, uh, Melissa could go to jail for involving herself in this. Well, I'd hate to arrest her. Her kids are little. Let's just write it up that they were showing off for Dave and his new girlfriend. That's how it's wrote up. Documented me games of pretend. They, investigators, would even say, their family ought to be ashamed of themselves. Sitting around laughing, making up stuff behind Kieran's back. But she's risking her life to help us get information on these people. Hmm. What else happened on Thanksgiving of 18? I went up to John and asked him what's going on. He didn't know. He said, I told Melissa that you're moving out, going through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. Just be made up because of the divorce and you're moving out. Well, you shouldn't have said anything until it happened, but I did, and since it's just made up and no one can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. And he shoots me. A year and a half later, after Melissa pulled a mean stunt with him, sneaking in his house after the divorce, hiding, waiting for him to come out of the bathroom, lunged at him, screaming. And he shoved her out of being startled, didn't even know she was in the house. Laughed, now I got you. Had him arrested domestic violence. Had to bail out, pay an attorney, pay fines, lost his kids for a year, tried to get him back. He called me and said, Mom, I need a reliable name to watch Kenzie Carrington and Noah. He said, I need you to pick him up from school. I said, John, I don't get off my first job, let alone my second one. He said, Mom, if I don't have a reliable name to pick him up, I'll lose my kids. I'll lose them forever. I said, John, I'll lose my apartment. And he pleaded with me, and there was nothing I can do. I didn't make enough. I didn't get off the first job, let alone the second one. He lost his kids. He moved down to Florida, got remarried, comes sees the kids a couple times a year, and he started his own church, doing very well. Now, even October 5th, 21, Huntington Bank, they were talking about Melissa and her kids lying. We go to leave, my clients like, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying everywhere we go. I said, next daughter-in-law friends with ex-girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games of her pretend in front of the police. He's like, is she crazy? I'm like, yes. Hmm? Yesterday, we were down in Carrollton. There was a lady talking. I talked to the police. No one's to say a word to her. No one should worry if she's out. They said that she's part of a case. These people were taped saying that they drugged her and told her to say it before, photoshopped everything on her. And those kids were taped saying that they made everything up. No one ever got hurt. And her whole family was taped defending her. And they were taped. The other ones taped saying they made everything up. So, do you have a problem? FBI informant. Karen's will, Karen around the house is still open. Like Walter Moss from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. Hmm? It's a big fraud scheme. That's all it is. They have came up to me. Most people by now would have signed everything over. I'm not that stupid. The law is if attorney sets up button cameras in your home, they're to be disbarred and criminally charged. There's no such thing as special permission. Photoshopping your head on somebody else, showering in your own perverted stocking tapes. Walking up and jabbing somebody with a hypnotic drug and drugging them up and telling them to say something stupid and then have them beat and raped. You go to jail for that shit. With the Massillon police not too long ago said they were all playing that well to get his drug connection. Huh? You want to say something else stupid to me? Hmm? You want to say something else stupid to me? See, they tell people they already attached all my money in the case and all this other stuff. They never touched anything. I was never found guilty of anything. Never prosecuted. Never tried. Never sued for anything. They lied. They're lying. They got any money besides drug money, or where Rochelle confessed they were human trafficking and selling people. They're trying to trick people out of stuff. Got it? September 10th, 25, they said that some of those people from that office was down there lying at the Tuscarawas County Courthouse. You know, Stark County, for the sheriffs, the courthouse, where they went to the Louisville police, where they said they have to find somebody dumb enough to arrest her and stupid enough to do it with an open FBI case. The only way we can make sure that agent shows up, because it can't be processed, because she's in the witness protection program. They think you're stupid and dumb. You know what happened with the Louisville police on May 30th, 25? They found the real case. The investigators found the original case. Her ex-husband hired two men on his own. One said he made him was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. It makes it worse illegal. I know. And then they found May 26, 25, Walmart 62, where the cartel calls out Bill from the Freemasons. We heard they were making fun of this in Summit Mall. Bill from the Freemason, the dirty doctor scam of not being one of hers, worse for them, and they had lied he was one of her doctors. And this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons. Who does he think he is? Exactly. Cartel's tired of Bill. We're all tired of Bill. Get it? They got it. Got it? They all know this is a scam from that family. Get it? You know, that guy, where they said Will found another way of making money off the case, he's selling the login for $25 a pop. It was him selling government technology. That's why everybody has it. See, it didn't matter who I say and what I do. People already got it. They already know. Because where M13 is live streaming protected custody cases to have people harassed, well, how they get it? Bill from the Freemasons got it and sold it to the cartel. Like they did mine. It was on Google. Selling government technology. Sold my case. And then, about a year or two later, it came up that they're doing it to other people. Another drug gang. Sell them the technology, honey. See what I mean? July 25th, I take that back. August 25th, 25. Walmart 62, an investigator from 18 came in. I told that couple never to say a word to her again. I interviewed John years ago. He said nothing bad ever happened to him. So did all her boys. Well, they're supposed to drug her and told her say they need it. They already admitted a million times. Million times. I never talked to anybody. I would take a shower. My water was orange. That's why I thought it was giving me cancer and causing everything. Just showering in it was toxic. I I wash and dry off and get mad. Wake up with orange, lemon, grapefruit sized bruises, severely infected, throwing up, headache. Only thing I did is take a shower. I would be fine some mornings, get up and wash my hands. Come in from working outside, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, and I had a 2-liter Diet Coke. Set the glass of Diet Coke on the table with my sandwich, go and use the bathroom, wash my hands, come out, take a drink in the room, and go Disney Black. People have even said in Walmart this last month, she don't even remember them walking up and jabbing her and injecting her with those hypnotic drugs. They work so fast she don't even remember it. I never seen her talk to anybody. I never even had my neighbors in my home. I thought the well water was giving me cancer. I told the doctor that too. And I was seen by my community health for bruises, throwing up, heart racing, severe infection, migraine headache. I thought I was getting cancer from it. I never had anybody in my home, never had my neighbors in my home, have family repair guys, installation guys. On August 8th of 18, midnight had light in the security system outside. I called 911. Two silly officers said it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit, told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. That was it. I thought I was getting cancer. Okay. See, one of the thing that lady said in Carrollton yesterday, the police said she was a victim of a lot of medical fraud before. And they think that her ex-husband had him do it to her. That's what they said over a year ago. That there was no way those doctors didn't know they weren't killing me. And it took another doctor to tell on them. They were afraid. My ex-husband had those doctors do it to me. Or I had the medical fraud, medication errors. It's wrote up as fraud. Where my community health, when I went to talk to them because they were wanting to do a brain surgery that wasn't needed, um, she's like, "Whoa, we need to talk about those doctors that are known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from the drug companies, draining people's insurance companies like checking accounts, and sharing them with their associates and friends that are known for doing this too, and making people so sick to do unnecessary procedures. There's nothing wrong with you, but your muscles locked up from those surgeries. They've caused everything else. They have been defrauding you and ripping you off. Get an attorney, sue them, turn them over to the state to pull their license. Encourage Dave and I to sue them for years. They would even represent us in court because they almost killed me. And it is wrote up as fraud and then readdressed over years as fraud. In 18, the police and the FBI went with me to my community health. They were sitting in the back, and I seen them when I walked in, and they have cameras in there that are out in the open, and they had to keep an eye on me so Dave wouldn't hurt me. Okay, and the doctor brings up the fraud, that it is fraud. They were defrauding you. Is the medicine making you sick before? The only thing that was wrong with you is your muscles locked up. You had nothing else wrong with you. They were all lying. Brings it up to them. And they told him it's wrote up as fraud and readdressed it as fraud. Where that lady said the police said that she was a victim of a lot of medical fraud before. And they were afraid her ex-husband had him do it to her. It's wrote up as fraud. They caused everything else. And made my whole body swell up. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, seizures, heart attacks. They were throwing every kind of diagnosis at the world on me. And here, the only thing's wrong with me is my muscles locked from having a bunch of surgeries. They clenched. And they caused everything else. They almost killed me. And like they said, there's no way they didn't know it wasn't the medication doing it. Took another doctor to tell on them. We're afraid with what's going on that her ex-husband had him do it to her. Where they said, the police said that. They said it a couple years ago. It is wrote up as fraud. And then proven when I got off the medication over 9 months, I slowly got well. Now, it is illegal for an attorney to have their doctor friend pull your medical records. There's strict HIPAA violations. You have to have a signed consent. They are never allowed to look you up. No doctor is allowed to talk to an attorney without your signed consent. They can't have their doctor friend pull your medical records. Stealing records. Those are federal crimes. Nor could they know anything about my medical history. We're talking major lawsuits, major fines, loss of licenses, and 10 to 20 years federal prison. Do we understand each other? I'm going to blow this.